Field Marshal, my own brother, Field Marshal of Amazonia, of Libya, ladies and gentlemen, is no more. Is no more. And the purpose for my coming up today is to explain to you exactly how it went down. It is a very difficult moment, a very, very difficult moment.
I'm making an official statement from me, Mr. Marshal. Say, Field Marshal is not dead. It doesn't matter how many people believe in a negative news, it will never make it true. It doesn't matter how many people propagate a lie, how fast you propagate a lie, how much you believe in a lie, it will never make it true. Take my words to the bank. So when I still sing from today to December, say Field Marshal this or Field Marshal don't die or Field Marshal, when I waste my time, it's not gonna make it true. And I say this affirmatively, without fear or favor.
Good night, FMA. Good night, FMA.
I want to give you the good news. Field Marshal, the king of Amazonia, is not dead. He's not dead. And those who are claiming that they've killed him, we are challenging them to give us evidence of his death. It has been 3 days. Let them give us genuine evidence. The image they showed you, Field Marshal does not have blonde hairs. It doesn't. That doesn't even look like Field Marshal the king.
All right.
Field Marshal will live and see the freedom of Amazonia. For that one, I can guarantee you.
He happened to be my own brother, my direct follower. Oliver happened to be my immediate follower. In our African customs, the young are supposed to bury the old. I was expecting him to be at my memorial and to officiate over it, not the other way around as we have it today. I would never have expected to mount this television set to announce the killing of my own brother, but here I am, and that's what makes it difficult. Field Marshal of Amazonia, as we all called him, was gone down on the evening of Tuesday, July 12th at around between 5 and 6 p.m. Amber time.
Field Marshal is not dead. And I want each and every one of you, after the show, put on your wall post, long live Field Marshal the king. We are speaking live, not dead. And I'm telling you, he's not dead. He's not dead. So why will you be saying those who killed Field Marshal? Who killed him? You are indirectly trying to assume that he's dead and accepting. He's not dead. He's alive. He's alive. And you want to ask me where he is? I know exactly where he is. And I'm not going to tell you because I'll be releasing another information for La Republic du Cameroon. And I'm not going to do that.
So then, who killed Field Marshal? I guess you all want to know. The people who killed Field Marshal were hired assassins. And yes, they all hail from Libya. But like Judas Iscariot, they choose money over honor. Like Judas, they were paid from both home and abroad to carry out the deed. Let me state very authoritatively, ladies and gentlemen, that at this moment, as I come to you, we are not only informed of exactly how it all went down, we now know every single collaborator, but particularly to the individual actors who carried out the execution. We know all of their names, their pictures in the bush, where they come from, who sent them, and who paid them. Villagers first spotted them the previous evening, being Monday, July the 11th, as they made inroads into cocoa farms in the vicinity. But the villagers took them for Amber Restoration Forces, or the Red Dragons, because according to the villagers, they were all dressed up looking like Amber Boys, as they call the Restoration Forces. They were all tatteredly dressed and having the appearance of the ARF. Even so, there was an element of strangeness in their appearance. They looked suspicious. The villagers raised an alarm to some fighters who made frantic searches but didn't find them. The following morning, being Tuesday, the day of the execution, July 12th, at around 9 a.m., they emerged from their hideout, picked up two former fighters, dragon fighters. One had long laid down arms since 2018, and the other had left the camp only 2 months. The assassins were four of them in number at this point. And all the four have at one time or another been fighters of the Red Dragons. But they had all left the struggle for a period ranging from 1.5 years to 4 years to become blacklegs, joining ranks with La République du Cameroun bees for all these years. After picking up the two escorts and having them severely tortured, their hands tied behind their backs, a piece of cloth wrapped in the mouth of the other, they hurled him behind the building and demanded that he must lead them to FMA's location. I will spare you all of the details here. As they took off for Field Marshal's location, the four assassins were now joined at this time by 4 others, disguised equally as Amber Boys with face masks. These ones were La République du Cameroun soldiers, 4 of them. The entire team was now 10 in number, that is, including the 2 escorts. We gathered that somewhere close to Field Marshal's location, all the 4 La République du Cameroun masked soldiers decided to stay back. They wouldn't go up to FMA's location. The 4 former Ambers proceeded, avoiding all the traps and camps in the area and surprising FMA from the direction he least expected. They gunned him down from a distance like a sniper. He slumped backward and fell on his back. After observing he wasn't going to wake up, it was then they now walked to the scene and smashed his face. After the mission was accomplished, the assassins radioed the 4 LRC La République soldiers waiting down the forest. Jubilation started. The rest of the dragons, hearing the sound of the first gunshot, began mobilizing from their nearby bases to that location. The first person to show up was ambushed and killed, slaughtered. The rest found a way of escape. Immediately, the La République du Cameroun army, hiding in the forest, alerted their bosses. The assassins too began to call their friends and collaborators around La République, their fellow blacklegs and enablers, to report their exploits. And the enablers immediately took it to the social media, putting out this story. By Wednesday morning, the 13th of July, over 400 occupying soldiers of La République had descended on the outskirts of the vicinity. FMA had been located. They had mobilized in the hundreds to secure safe landing for the helicopter that will transport the remains of Field Marshal to Kumba. Upon landing in Kumba, they took the body to the military barracks before driving it in a parade for public view at what is called the Sec Junction. And that was FMA's last journey, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed very difficult for me to narrate this story. He gave his all plus his life for this, because it pains. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, but it hurts. We will miss him. We will miss him in our family. But we have no regrets. He is gone. Field Marshal is truly dead, and the enemies rejoice. As the saying goes, you hit the shepherd and the sheep scatters. You have wounded all of Ambazonia, not just FMA and his family.
Over the last 48 hours, we have seen and heard the development of the propaganda that our great FMA, the King of Ambazonia, is no more. I am coming to you today, dear brothers and sisters, to tell you to not fall prey to all that you see. The pictures did not, and I repeat, do not and did not prove or show that it is our FMA who had fallen.
Field Marshal is truly dead, and the enemies rejoice. As the saying goes, you hit the shepherd and the sheep scatters. You have wounded all of Ambazonia, not just FMA and his family. Those who killed Field Marshal shall never be remembered. They will die like dogs. But FMA lives among us forever, even though he is gone. Let me end this with this. I can say good night to FMA, my brother, the Ambazonian hero. The BLM says good night to you. Ambazonia stands for you and bid you a good night too. And should you happen to meet Indele and Jua, Jangu Focha, Abed Bukok, Pa Ayaba, Mona Litumba, and all the patrons of Ambazonia who went ahead, tell them, you led a generation that will redeem them. Thank you, good night.